Hello guys, my name is Evans and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to do some tips on the Igcse Ict paper 3. In the last video we looked at some tips that you guys would need as you do your paper 2, and from the feedback that I had course of yesterday and the same day when I uploaded that video, you guys were saying you found the tips very helpful as you prepared for your paper 2. So I tried to compile some of the things that you guys were also asking me to include as I do the paper 3 tips. A number of you have been sending me messages of the things that you'd want me to really mention so that everyone can benefit from those tips as you prepare for your exams tomorrow. Okay, so as usual, we will look at the structure of an Igcse Ict paper 3, and we'll look at time management again, and we'll look at web authoring checklist, and we'll look at data analysis checklist, and lastly I'm going to do some final words for you guys as you go into the exam. Alright, so let's start with the Igcse Ict paper 3 structure. Alright, so the paper as usual is 2 hours 30 minutes. Okay, so the exception that we have as usual is the people who've been given 50% extra time by Cambridge, so they do have about 3 hours 45 minutes in which to do this paper. Okay, the paper is made up of at least 2 parts. Okay, and these are web authoring. Okay, and under web authoring, majority of the parts, or let me not say majority of the parts, but you have a section that deals with a table, and you have style sheets, and you have links. These could be internal and external links or to different pages. Okay, so usually the table has to do with the layout, how your information is going to be displayed onto the website, and the style sheet has to do with the, let me say, the behavior of or the appearance. Let me say not the behavior, but the appearance of your web page. Okay, and things like links, internal and external pages, you guys should be very conversant with this stuff. So the three of the stuff here, of course, I put up here that this is HTML. So you guys, some of you who've never done this shouldn't think that you're going to do web authoring, maybe, let's say, in Java or JavaScript and stuff like that. This is strictly HTML, so you should be conversant with the HTML tags and all. Now there are different HTML editors that you guys are using. I remember in the past you guys have requested me to make some of these videos with Dreamweaver, with Composer, with SharePoint, with Front Page, just different softwares that you guys are using in order to build your web pages. But like I've always said, once you know something, it's easy for you to transfer the skills into another package and all. So I have standardized some of these videos and I've been making them with Front Page, but some of you guys, you still go ahead and watch those videos and transfer the skills that you get from Front Page and transfer them to Dreamweaver or whatever you're using. The idea is for you to be familiar with the concept. So it's the concept actually that is being communicated rather than the skill of how to use a particular IDE. It's the concept that we are interested in. So if you can understand the concept of building web pages, how to build the table, how to attach style sheets, how to edit style sheets and stuff like that, it's very easy for you to transfer those skills and apply them in a different package that you are using for your HTML work. Okay, so the second part of this paper is data analysis, and this is where you're going to do the spreadsheet and all. Okay, so this is the overall structure of an ICT paper 3. I must say that this is a very interesting paper, all in all, in that it's very much possible for you to get all the marks in the web authoring. It's actually, in my opinion, the simplest of section of this paper is actually web authoring, and you can get all the marks actually in this section. data analysis is a little unpredictable because you don't know what formulas that are going to be used in sense, so to say, because sometimes you find that they include some functions that you were not expecting, and you are required to recall or to implement those functions. But I'll show you a simple way that you guys can use really whichever function that you are given, that you can really implement that as fast as possible. I'll try as much as possible to switch in between this window and probably open some window, either front page or Excel, so that you guys, I can show you some of the things that you need to do. Of course, there were some things that others asked me to include in this, and then I would want to show you what they were talking about so that you guys can benefit as well. Okay, so let's go to time management. Like I said, this paper is a 2 hours 30 minutes paper. Your goal is to work as fast as possible, but in the same in the process you need to retain your accuracy. By accuracy we mean that minimize on the errors that you're going to make, those silly mistakes that will cost you max. Some of you were coming back with feedback about your paper 2 and how it was, and I'm very impressed overall with your performance, guys. From the descriptions and the comments that you guys were putting up regarding your paper 2, I'm very much confident that majority of you guys, let me say about 80% of you guys, did manage to get an A in that paper, and overall you are targeting an A star. You're on track for an A star, and I really commend you that you don't even relax, but you work even harder for your paper 3 so that you can maximize the 60% from this paper. If you can, from the practical papers, okay? So because practical papers constitute about 60%, and then the theory paper is just about 40%. So you guys imagine if you can get even about 50% or 50 to 55% of even 60% of the practical section, and just aim for a 30% in the other paper, you are guaranteed of getting an A to A star overall grade. Okay, so it's very much possible for you guys. So once you do well in your practical papers, you are guaranteed of being questioned very well, okay, for your overall grade. Okay, so it's very important that you improve your speed, okay, and you also make sure that you avoid making those silly mistakes that would really cost you, things like forgetting to put your maybe your candidate name, candidate number, and center number, things like forgetting to put stuff in a header, and so on and so forth. Okay, you need to eliminate that. Things like forgetting to put column headings and row headings, switching between formula tabs, showing formulas in Excel, and all those are small things that really cost you. And in the end, if you find that you add all those to my small 1 marks, 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark, you find that they kind of accumulate. So you find that you made maybe 8 mistakes or 10 mistakes because of negligence or because of being too fast and failing to keep accuracy. You find that when you put together all those small things, you really see that you would have lost maybe 10 marks or 15 marks. Okay, so in view of that, you need to spend no more than an hour on each major topic if possible. So in other words, I suggest that you spend at least an hour or at most an hour for web authoring, because it's the easier of this section of this paper. It's the easier part, and it's the one where you can even deal with it maybe in about 30 minutes or so. Okay, Excel is quite lengthy, and there are different sections that you have to do, so you may require to spend more time. So you guys, this paper is logical as well. So as you start with the web authoring, start with that section. Okay, deal with that section and make sure that you do it to a greater accuracy, and then go to the Excel section. Give it enough time. Try to be as fast as you can, but also be very careful with Excel, because small errors can really cost you. Okay, so don't skip any activity. As usual, this paper is logical. Okay, so if you're dealing with web authoring and you try to skip an activity because you couldn't answer it, you only do that when you really know that you are stuck, you cannot do this section, and then you can forfeit those marks and go to another section. But again, my advice to you is that don't skip any question. Go step by step, and then if possible have a pencil where you can be ticking what step you have done, so that you keep track of these steps as you progress. Okay. Then the other thing is, we to say is that you're supposed to print when you've been asked to print. Okay, don't wait till the end of the exam. It's very important that every statement that asks you to print, you print, because when you wait till the exam, one, some work can be modified, because sometimes they can ask you to print something before you continue working on it. You print it, you put in your evidence, and then you continue. So if you continue working on it, it may change the overall appearance, or some things or some features may be changed because you've added other features, and you may lose track of what exactly you were supposed to print when a step asked you to print initially. So I suggest that you are very accurate, you are very confident, and whenever you're asked to print, please make a printout. Okay, so the other thing is that you need to call for invigilator or supervisor for help when you're in need. Okay, so don't wait until it's too late. Okay, sometimes you're going to encounter these errors. Some of these errors could be as a result of the software, and some of the errors could be as a result of the hardware. Now sometimes you may not know whether it's the software which is causing this error to arise, or it's the hardware. That's why you need to call someone who is knowledgeable about this stuff, or preferably your supervisor, because he's the one who is maybe your teacher, and they know when an error of that nature comes up, what to do, whether to give you extra time, or whether to wait, or whether to call for an IT technician, or whether to switch you to a different computer. So please don't wait until it's too late. Whenever you encounter an error, even if it's a simple error, just put up your hand and tell the supervisor about it, and then you'll be able to be advised appropriately which step you're supposed to take next. Okay, now let's go into the checklists for web authoring, and some of the things that like I said in the other video, that this is not a complete list, so to say, but these are major things that you really find, or that are almost there in every single paper or every single section of the web authoring that you're going to encounter. This stuff will be there. Okay, so the first one are the layers. Okay, and you guys, you've learned about the three layers of a web page. You have the presentation layer, the content layer, and the behavior layer. And you guys will talk about the presentation as where how it is going to appear to the public, the colors and all these other things. Then you talk about the content, the actual work that is going to be displayed onto the web page. Okay, then you talk about the behavior layer, which actually affects the like things like animations and stuff like that. These are all going to be under the presentation layer. Okay, so the content layer is sometimes called the structure layer, because it really deals with the appearance or the structure of this web page. Okay, the behavior layer, this is where you are going to find your CSS, okay, the style sheets and stuff like that. Okay, this is going to be found under the behavior layer. Okay, I don't know which other section, I don't know if I've said everything here, but yeah, so just be ready for this. So under the content, you guys, this is where you're going to do some tables and all. Okay, and you're going to use your web language. Let me see, you guys will use HTML. Yeah, I don't have to even see anything. I'm trying to relate some of the things that you are familiar with, trying to fit them into some of these categories: the presentation, content, and behavior. Okay, so that's fine. So presentation, content, and behavior layer. Okay, now under the layout, you guys, you talk about things like tables. Now we use tables mostly for the purpose of aligning work to be neat. If you just built you built a website just without a table, you find that some of the alignments, the text, this one will be here, this one will be scattered there, this one will be there, this one will be there, and it may not look neat, aligned properly. So we use tables in order to have proper alignment of our work. So you guys will use cells, you use rows. You need to know how to handle cells, the TDs and the TRs, which represent the table rows. Okay, so you need to know how to handle that. So the borders, whether you're going to have borders which are solid, borders which are visible, the alignment of this table, whether it's going to be center, the text is going to be center. Okay, things like the headings, the font sizes, and all this other stuff are very vital as well as you look at the layout of a web page. Okay. So the other thing that is very vital for you to know, and it's a must for you to know, is actually inserting objects onto your web page. Guys, I cannot overemphasize the aspect or how important this aspect is in terms of web authoring. Okay, when you build these web pages, clients are going to give you the information that they need. Okay, so whether you decide to take computer science or ICT at an advanced level, you go with it to university, and you guys, maybe you become a web designer or some point, or you deal with this stuff. Clients will be giving you information that they need to have it placed on their web page. So this is where you are going to insert this information onto the web page. So you can insert things like pictures, alternative text to images, things like tables, hyperlinks, anchors, bookmarks, videos, audio, etc. You guys should be familiar with how to insert all this stuff into your web page. Okay, I will yeah, some people ask me to talk about how to insert anchors or bookmarks in cases, and may I just take time here to really show you guys how to insert a bookmark and then consequently an anchor. So what I'm going to do is to minimize this and then go to my front page, and I'm going to show you guys just from here how to do that. Of course, I've done videos how to do that. So mostly you have to place the cursor where you want the anchor to be, or the bookmark to be. So the first thing to place an anchor, or the first thing that you need in order to place an anchor, is to create a bookmark. Okay, so you need to go to bookmark under insert, and then you give the bookmark a name. So I'll call it top and say okay. So take note how in the code the bookmark has not appeared, but in actual sense in design view the bookmark has appeared down here, something like a little flag down here. Okay, so if you were asked later on to say create a text to link to an anchor called top, maybe so you need, for example, if I have a text such as this one, paragraph, let me just put up some text. Let me say click here, and let's put this in paragraph tag. Okay, just cut this and copy it. Okay, so we create some text called click here, and it appears here. Now suppose we are linking this text to this bookmark that we created here, so that we could have an anchor overall. So you select or highlight the text, you right click and go to hyperlink, and then you say place in this document. Why? Because this click here and this anchor are actually on the same document. So you kind of create a hyperlink, but it is being linked to a place in this document, and there you will see all the bookmarks that are listed there. So once you do that and you said okay, then you have created what is known as an anchor. Okay, so I hope you guys have seen what I've done. If you have not seen, please rewind that and you can continue with that. So let me continue with the slide. So we've done some of this stuff here, and we were here. Now I need to be as fast as possible to record this video, because I'm wanted at the post office. I have to go and get some parcels. So before they close at 5 p.m., let me see, this is 4:15, so it's about 20 minutes drive from where I am, so I'll just have to drive fast. Okay, so I'm hoping I can finish recording this before 16:30, so that I can have some time to go to the post office. Okay, so inserting objects, yeah, we're done with that. So let's see, next is about this feature called border collapse and border width and all. Okay, now a number of you guys have asked me what border collapse does to a table. So if you have a table and you collapse the borders, what happens is that the borders become thin, because initially the borders are thick and dull on the around the edges, okay? But when you do border collapse, the borders become very thin, like it's a one line pencil or drawing, so to say, that you make. Now, may I say here that I could have loved to demonstrate this to you guys, but for the sake of time, I cannot demonstrate this. But I've instead done this in some of the videos. So if you guys encounter a question paper, a past question paper, which is asking you to do a border collapse, you can check for that video. I've usually done some of those stuff already. A number of you guys have asked me to do certain videos because you want a certain concept to be explained, and I've told you that, well, if you're looking for that concept, or if for you're doing for example, a past paper question, and you encounter a certain concept that you need me to explain, the first thing that you should do is to check for the year of that paper. Then go on my channel and check if I've done a video for that, because usually when I'm doing some of these things, I take time to explain some of the concepts. And funny thing is that some of the people, they do pass some funny comments that, well, you're too slow, we need you to be very fast. It's very interesting how people think sometimes, these videos, I don't make them because I want to solve a paper, I mean a past paper. If I just wanted to solve a past paper, believe me, there's no need for me to even put sound. I'll just I'll just be clicking there, and you guys are just seeing whatever I'm doing. But I'm not doing this to solve a past paper question. No. Listen, and listen very well, because I hope this is the last time that somebody is going to text me and say, no, well, Evans, you're too slow. It would be good if you're very fast, you take a lot of time, you crack jokes, you do that. Well, one of the things that you should know is that I take my time, because this is not just about me solving this paper, it's about me communicating the concepts that are required for you to know. This is why it's called a tutorial. A tutorial is where I take time and explain thoroughly, okay? This is a teacher will not have time to explain this in class, because not every teacher, even myself in my own class, I may not have time to explain some of this stuff that I'm explaining in this video. But my students have access to these videos, not on YouTube, but on the school network. They have access to these videos, and they watch them, and they learn some of the stuff that I cannot say in class because of time, okay? So please, let it be the last time that somebody is commenting and saying, well, Evans, you are very slow when it comes to solving this. Well, think about others who are benefiting more when I'm taking my time to explain these concepts that maybe in class as a teacher I would just rush through them, okay? So I hope that is good, guys. The next thing that we're supposed to do to check is that we're supposed to be very confident with style sheets. So you're supposed to create a style sheet from scratch. You can be given a blank page and they say, or black notepad, whatever you use, editor you're using for a style sheet, they can tell you to create that from scratch, okay? So you're supposed to be very confident with the style, the style code, or style sheet code, let me say. And you also should be confident with editing a style. Sometimes you can be given a style that is existing and you should be able to edit that. And then sometimes you'll be asked to spot errors in a style sheet, okay? So if you are very good at understanding the code for style sheets, it'll be very easy for you to know when a mistake has been made, okay? You should also be very good at linking style sheets to web pages, okay? So guys, style sheets is the modern way to go for web pages, okay? In the past, we never used to create web pages using style sheets. We just create, if it's a document that you're typing, everything, the modification of the colors, the font sizes, everything was done in HTML, okay? But when CSS came on board some time back, it was really a relief, because you can create a web page and just do some presentation and stuff like that, but you wait for the behavior and some of the presentation to be done in the style sheet, and that it really was going to be very easy, because whenever you need to modify your web page, instead of just going to the HTML code all over again, you just needed to go and modify the style sheet, and it is going to apply everywhere where you need this this information to be applied. Is going to be edited or modified right from the style sheet, okay? And you guys should be also very familiar with hyperlinks, okay? Now hyperlinks, I put up these like target frames, parent window, new window, etc. You almost find this stuff in the exam, Okay, so be very confident. I've done a couple of some of these features in the HTML windows or the web authoring videos that I've done. You guys will find I've explained thoroughly, and I've shown you where to find this information onto the video. So hyperlinks are always there. Every web page, what makes a good web page actually should have some good navigation from one page to the other or within the same page. That's why you have anchors and hyperlinks and all. Okay. And lastly, you guys should know how to copy your HTML source code. Okay, sometimes you'll be asked to paste your code as evidence. Okay, some of you get a screenshot of the HTML from your editor and paste it in there. No, that's not the evidence. Okay, what I would want you to do, what I suggest that you should do, is that you should copy the work. Okay, highlight the text from your HTML editor, copy it and paste it into your Word document as evidence. Okay, lastly, may I look at checklist for data analysis. Now, in the data analysis, you find what I'm calling queries. Okay, now remember in Access in the video last for paper 2 things to do or things to expect, the tips for paper 2, I made mention that queries, there are two types of queries. That you find queries that are select queries, and then you will find queries that are action queries. And I said queries, select queries actually are queries that are used to retrieve information from a database. Remember, a spreadsheet is, in simple terms, a flat file, a flat database, so to say. Okay, and because it is a database, sometimes will be required to extract certain information from this database. Sometimes they can ask you to display only data whose of students whose gender is female, maybe. Okay, so you're going to use some query to do that. Now, in order to do that, queries in Excel, they work well with filters. Okay, so I've mentioned or I've listed filters also. I think third bullet or so. You are going to extract this information using filters and so on and so forth. Okay, let me talk about these three so that they make more sense, because they go more like hand in hand. So sorting, filtering. Sometimes you can filter using a wizard. You can have extracts. You'll be asked to produce extract based on the filtered information. You guys should be confident in doing this. So what I'm going to do is to minimize this and go to my Excel, and then show you guys some of the things that you can do as you do your filtering. Okay, so let's see. So most of the things that you're going to do when you put in your work is here: filter and sort and filter. That's organize your data so it's easier to analyze. Okay, so you can sort the selected data from smallest to largest, largest to smallest, or filter out specific values. And this is where the queries I was talking about come in. Okay, I said in Access we talked about the select query and the action query. Okay, and the queries in Excel, really it's about retrieving information from the database, the flat file, and we're going to do it using the filtering feature and so on. So when you click here and you go to custom sort, okay, because there is nothing here in here, it won't allow me. But if you go to, let me just try to put out something, maybe let's say Alex, then let's say Evans, and then let's say Matthew, maybe. Okay, and I select that, and let's say to custom sort. Then you have this window that pops up. Now you guys are going to have several columns, of course, that you're going to do the sorting and all. So you can sort. Sometimes they can ask you first sort by this column, and then followed by this column, and then maybe followed by this column. So if it's column A, I'm sorting these values from A to Z, and then if I had another column, I would say add level. Okay, then it will be column B, because I don't have information in column B, that's why it's not showing here, but it will be column B, and then I provide the option for sorting in this area. Okay, so this is how you can do your sorting and all. But the magic button that you're going to have, or the magic icon that you're going to use when you do your sorting and filtering, is this one here, guys. Okay, so let me go back to my access, my presentation quickly. I'm running out of time, guys. I really need to be on my way out. Okay, so the other thing, guys, that I should point out is that if you are stuck, please do comment out something, and I encourage you guys to help one another. If you know some feature and somebody has asked a question in the comment section, I please allow you to answer those questions. Okay, let's create this channel more interactive, where you guys can help one another. I don't have really to be online so that you can respond to all the questions that people ask. If you do know the answer to the question that somebody asked, it's important that you can help that person. That way you are also helping yourself to revise and consolidate on the facts that you need before the exam. Okay, so don't just wait for me. I have a lot of messages that I'm getting, my Facebook inbox, hundreds of messages that are coming in. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed and I cannot just respond to all the messages, and sometimes I'm in class, or I'm back home attending to my wife. She's not been feeling well, and I have all these messages popping up on my phone, and everyone wants me to respond, and I'm thinking, well, there are other guys who are very good here and they can answer some of those questions. So I encourage you, I give you the permission, guys. Please feel free to respond and make this channel interactive as possible, and encourage one another. Share your information with one another. There is a discussion board or not there, and you guys can put up anything that you want to discuss in there. I will participate here and there, and only in cases where I cannot explain something, or someone cannot explain something, then I'll come up and do some research about it if it needs me to research, and then I'll do some explanation. So guys, remember what I've said to you. You are free to encourage somebody. You are free to answer any question. If you see someone has asked the question on here on the channel and you know the answer, please feel free to type out the answer. I've given you the permission to do that. Okay. So formulas. Okay, so one of the things that you deal with in data analysis is formulas. You should be very consistent, because they'll ask you to say use the most efficient formula. Okay, use the most efficient formula. Now it's very important that you are using the most efficient formula as you've been asked. Okay, so what I would want you to do is to have a general understanding, or let me say a typical understanding of some of the basic or the commonest formulas that you're going to find in Excel. Things like round, round up, round down, lookup, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, not loop up. This is supposed to be lookup. Nested if statements, count, average, sum, if, max, minimum. These are the most common formulas that you're going to encounter in your data analysis section. Okay, so what I would suggest is that you practice with these formulas. Know when to apply these formulas. What does it of these formulas require you to do? I know a number of guys have asked me to perform some conditional formatting and stuff like that. A video on conditional formatting. I could have done, or I should have done that, but I'm praying that doesn't come in the exam, because I didn't have the time to do that. But that shouldn't send you guys into panicking to say, hey, Evan said that he didn't do conditional formatting and it could be coming in the exam. No, I didn't say that. It could come, it could not come, but what is important is that you guys are going to do very well in this paper. Okay, so I encourage you to be very confident with this information. There is a book that you guys are probably by now you should have been using. It's Cambridge Igcse Ict, second edition by Graham Brown, Brian Sargent, and as well as David Watson. And these guys are very good. It's a book that my students use in class, and I hope you guys are using this book as well for your ICT revision. Okay, so the other thing that you guys should know is basic cell formatting. Things like cell merge, things like adjusting the height and the width of a cell. You guys should know this, and you should be very confident, because sometimes they can ask you to reduce the size or the height of a row, maybe by half. Okay, so you should be confident doing that. Okay, things like font sizes, things like background and foreground colors, you guys should be very confident about doing this. And then there was one video somebody was talking about that I did mix up on the background color. I don't know if it's the foreground color. I was supposed to change the background color, and I ended up changing the foreground color. And I did indicate that, well, sometimes I'm working very fast, sometimes I'm very exhausted and tired, and sometimes it may just slip off my mind that I was supposed to change that. But you guys, I encourage you to be very conscious, especially when you deal with background and foreground colors, because sometimes you can get mixed up and you end up changing what you're not supposed to change. Okay, so please take your time, but again, like I said, you must balance up between your speed and your accuracy. Okay, next is that you need to know how to print to fit to page, okay, or in a single page, and then you need to know how to show the formula and values. Okay, so let me just minimize this and go to my Excel for the sake of those guys that need in order for you to know how to show formula. So when you're under formula tab, this is where you're going to find all the formulas that you need in Excel. Even the conditional formatting formulas are actually supposed to be here. Okay, so you guys are going to need your formulas. Everything that you're going to do, your inserting formulas and stuff like that, is going to be here. Now there is this button, or this feature here, which is show formula. This is the one, when you click it, it shows you the formula. For example, if I have equal to sum, let me say d2 comma d3, okay, and I say this is my formula, okay. So right now it's under show formula, but when I hide this feature show formula, it actually hides that and just gives me the value, and then when I click on show formula, it shows me the formula. So sometimes you'll be asked when you're printing to print when the formulas are displayed. Now the other thing that you guys must be cautious about is when you are showing the formula, sometimes this formula, the pages can be split into multiple, the formulas cannot be visible. So what you need to do is to select this formula, this table rather, from here, and double click on the boundaries here, and the table is going to, the cells are going to expand in such a way that the formulas will be visible, okay. So sometimes they'll ask you to make sure that the formulas are visible, because when you don't do that, a formula is going to be cut and you're going to lose marks, okay. So make sure, one that I've said is that select the table here by clicking here, and then click on formula, show formula, and then all the formulas are going to be, rather, first of all show the formula, and then double click here, and then double click on the boundaries here, and then you're going to see that this information is going to be shown throughout before you print it, okay. So I'm out of time, guys. This is 16:32 and I really need to go and pick up some stuff. So what I would do, the last thing I was supposed to do is let me see, inserting row and column headings, okay. You guys, this feature is very important. Let me minimize this and go back to Excel again. When you do your printing, the feature for inserting columns and row headings is going to be found under page setup here, and this is where we're going to go under sheet here, and then you're going to see row and column headings. When you check this and say okay, you see that the columns and the row headings will appear, okay. So go back to page setup, and under sheet, if you want the grid lines also, and usually it's important because if you see this one, it doesn't show the grid lines there, but the grid lines, when you put them, it kind of shows you the boundaries for this, and this makes your work look neat and all, okay. Then don't forget your page orientation. This is very important. When they ask you to change your orientation to landscape or to portrait, that you do that. Make sure that you print out on A4 paper, because this is the paper that you're going to use, okay. And sometimes they can ask you to shrink the entire sheet on one page, or to fit the entire Excel sheet on one page. So you need to go under scaling, and then this feature says fit sheet on one page, okay. And this is going to make sure that the Excel sheet actually fits, the entire sheet fits on one page. So these are powerful features that you guys cannot just think they are not important, okay. They are very important, okay. So let me go back, guys, and just do some final winding up to the, okay. So right, so my final words to you guys is that you've come very far, and this is what you've been preparing for, and paper 3 is going to be the easier of the papers, okay. Paper 2 might be a little bit would have been, or should have been, could have been a little bit challenging for you, but paper 3 will be easy, okay. So go in paper 3 with your head up, and remember that all the formulas that you need to know, especially in your Excel, okay, you need to know the formulas that I listed up there. They are very vital for any work that you're going to do, sum, whatever, average and stuff like that. You need to know this stuff, okay. So my prayer for you is that a number of you have been asking me to pray for you. It's good that people recognize that God does help people. Sometimes you can be stuck in an exam, even the very stuff that you forgot about, and then you went in the exam and you can't just remember, okay. So I pray for you that you're going to do well in your exam, and I wish you all the best, and as usual, come back and give me a feedback of your paper, and I'll be very happy, you guys, okay. So the other thing is that some of you have been asking me to do some videos on theory. I don't know if I can manage to do videos on theory on time. I'm going on leave just this weekend for the next 30 days or so, so I don't know if I'll be around the computer or anything. I don't know. I'm not so sure, but if I will be around the computer, then I'll be doing videos for the computer science guys, because I need to solve papers for the pre-release material for them as well. I need to record for them, so I've done recording for the ICT guys. You guys, it's been awesome doing videos for you, and I'm going to shift a little bit and do some videos for the computer science guys. For the next few weeks or so, I'll be doing videos for computer science. Not to say that you cannot ask me when you are stuck and you need some questions, me to answer your questions. I would do that if I do look at some of the questions, and if they are within my reach, I'll be able to respond to you. So thank you so much guys for supporting my channel, especially in this period, and I pray that you're going to do well, and this channel is going to help you get excellent grades overall. So thank you. Remember to subscribe, share this channel. I had a suggestion from one of the subscribers. Actually, he sent me a message and was telling me that, well, this channel has been watched by a number of people from different countries and many schools, and he was suggesting to say, well, it would be nice to have the link to this channel being shared in different schools. Okay, so if you guys do know a school or your friends that they're taking ICT and they're not aware about this channel, please just go to my channel and copy the channel URL and send it to your friends, and let them just also see these videos, and let's spread this this information. For once, I would want Cambridge to be shocked where every student who took the ICT exam got an Esther and they failed to set their grade boundaries. It's very interesting. You know, sometimes you can have the entire class get Esters. Okay, it's very much possible. Okay, so guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. I wish you all the best in tomorrow's exam. All right, so thank you.